So we're back with another one, and today I'm gonna be sharing very valuable information that you need to know before you buy a car. So there's a lot of things that go into buying a car. You don't just wake up today and you decide that you want to buy a car. There's lots of research that you need to do, whether starting from the car that you want, the kind of maintenance that you're gonna do on the car, whether it comes with maintenance or not. There's a lot of things that you need to focus, and the most important part is money, your budget, the finance, and all those things. So I'll make sure I break down every aspect. So let's start with the car. So today you've decided that you want to buy a car. So there's 4 things that I'm gonna break down in terms of the car, like questions that you need to ask for yourself. So the first one is that the purpose of the car. So do you want the car for your personal needs, or do you want the car for business? So for personal can be you carrying your kids to school, or just moving around and to go to buy grocery. That's personal. For business, it's things like Uber, so that's a whole different conversation. So for me, this video I'll mostly be focused on personal use. So let's move on. So in terms of personal use, now you need to choose, okay, what type of car do you want? So there are many cars that you can find in terms of types. There's SUV, hatchback, bakkie, minibus. There are minibuses that you can buy for personal use. So you need to find a category that works for you and works for your needs. For example, you want to buy an SUV, so you need to ask yourself, what do you need an SUV for? What is the purpose of the SUV? Okay, you'll say maybe you have kids, you want to carry kids, or you say that our roads have a lot of potholes. Okay, that's a very good reason, but it needs to be very logical. How many kids do you have? Do you really need an SUV? Do you really need an SUV, or you'll be better off getting a hatchback or sedan? Based on that, you have to ask yourself, okay, do you travel alone? Maybe you want to buy a 2-door, but you have 4 kids. Definitely that doesn't make sense. So you need to ask such questions that will determine the type of car that you need. Okay, you want to buy a bike, you want to buy a Toyota bike, a Legend 45. What do you need it for? What do you need it for? You need to ask yourself. You don't just go ahead and buy a car because they don't want you going on TikTok and crying, but you're the one who chose that car. So you need to ask yourself such questions. Okay, so the next question that you need to ask yourself is that, what is the distance that I travel on a daily basis? So let's say you stay in Pretoria and you work at Joburg. So you need to ask yourself, what is the distance? You need to calculate the distance. How many kilometers are that? That will determine in terms of how much you're gonna pay per month to travel using that car. So you need to put that into consideration. So that's the first thing. Once you've created a rough mind map in terms of that, then we move on to the next thing that you need. So now you have chosen the car of your choice. You have done all the necessary research. You have went to dealerships and visited them. You have made sure that you have checked everything in terms of the car that you have chosen. In terms of choosing the car, you need to choose whether it's new or second hand. That will determine a lot of factors that will come forward, whether you chose a new car or a second-hand car. So when you have chosen the car of your choice, obviously you need to narrow it down to the different brands that you want. You can't just go ahead and say you want this car and you are searching Mercedes, you're searching BMW, you're searching VW. So you need to narrow it down to the brands, and within that brand you need to choose a model. If you want a BMW 1 Series, you need to choose that, okay, I'm looking for BMW 1 Series. This is the car that I'll be looking for when I go to different dealerships. Like that will simplify things. So let's say you are buying, whether it's a demo car or a second-hand car, you need to narrow down in terms of the kilometers that you are willing to buy the car. So the kilometers will also determine in terms of, okay, how much you get that car from. So the only thing that you need to familiarize yourself, which is the most important, you need to know the MSRP. The MSRP, basically, that's the price of the car when it's new. It's the recommended price by the manufacturer to the dealership. So let's say you are buying a Polo Trainline the last time I checked, not so long ago, a Polo train line was going for around 230,000, brand new, maybe 100 kilometers. So you need to know the MSRP, that okay, it's 230,000, so that you don't go and buy a second-hand Polo train line which has 30,000 kilometers for the same price, getting a car which has 30,000 kilometers city only driving, and the car which has 30,000 only highway driving. The car which has highway travel is considered to be a better choice. So that's one of the questions that you can ask in terms of the dealership, or if you're buying a car from someone. What was this car used for? Where was it being driven? Whether it's in the city or in the highway. That will tell you more story that you'll be able to understand in terms of the car. So moving on, so a car, just like our girlfriends, they need maintenance. So you need to maintain the car, otherwise the car is gonna break down. So in terms of maintenance of the car, if it's a new car, you need to know, does it come with manufacturer's warranty, and also how many kilometers or how many years are they gonna maintain your car. I will need to tell you a story about the maintenance plan on another video. Just leave it on the comment section if you want to know more about that. And talking about the channel, I've realized that most of you guys who are watching are not subscribed. Please subscribe if you're enjoying this content. I'm gonna be bringing you more of this content in the future. So let's go back to the topic. We're talking about maintenance. Okay, in terms of maintenance, let's say you're buying a car which the manufacturer offers only up to 30,000 kilometers maintenance plan / 3 years. So whatever comes first, and the intervals is let's say 10,000 intervals. So which means that your car is going to get serviced 3 times or maybe 2 times in 3 years, like that. So it's very important for you to know in terms of the parts of the car. So one day, just go, if you want a Polo, just go to one of these shops, these spare shops, whether it's AutoZone, and just ask, what is the service kit of a Polo? How much does it cost? How much are the brake pads? Then you know how much you normally pay if you're servicing the car yourself. Because I don't know if you've heard, these days when you buy a car, you can choose not to take a maintenance plan. So basically that's going to reduce the car, because the amount of the purchase price of the car, it includes the maintenance plan, but you can choose to option out. That's why some of the cars which are unnamed, the brands these days, they sell the maintenance plan separately, so you have to add it, even though the cars are already very highly priced. In terms of my liking, they are very expensive. So let's talk about the most important thing right now, money. Basically, if you don't have money, you won't be able to buy that car that you want. So I'm gonna be talking about the purchase price and the monthly installment of the car. So I'm gonna break down these into what you need to know about balloon payment, deposit, installment, insurance, and petrol. Okay, so let's start here. Let's say you want to buy your car, you want to finance it because you don't have the cash amount. Let's be honest, who has 100,000 lying around in their bank? Most of us don't have. So let's say you want to buy the car through finance. Basically, the bank is gonna own your car until you finish paying it. So the bank is gonna give you different ranges of interest rate and different types of interest rate. So for example, let's first talk about deposit. If you have a reasonable amount of deposit, let's say your car cost 100,000 and you have a deposit of 50,000, for example, basically you can negotiate with the bank to lower your interest rate because you have money up front. But if you're buying the car and you don't have deposit, basically you actually lose that leverage, and the bank is the one who's gonna decide in terms of the percentage that they want to offer in terms of interest rate based on your credit score and a lot of things that they will put into consideration. So in terms of interest rate, there are 2 types of interest rate that the bank can offer you, whether it's linked or fixed interest rates. So this is how it differs. Linked interest rate, this is the interest rate that can increase over time. As the repo rate goes up, this interest rate is going to go up and your installment is going to go up. But as a result, this interest rate is usually... So here's something that you need to know about interest rates and how it works. So interest rates, they build over a longer period of time. Let me explain. Your purchase price of the car, let's say you're buying a car, it cost 100,000. Then you include the manufacturer's warranty and the amount goes to 110,000. That's your loan that you have asked for the bank. The bank gives you 110,000 and they purchase your car and you go out of the garage with your car. Now you own the bank 110,000 rands, including whatever percent of interest rate that they give you. So what you need to know about interest rate is that they increase monthly. So if let's say your monthly repayments of the car is 3,500, your interest rate goes per day. Per day they can say you are gaining 128 interest rate. So you have to calculate 128 times 30. That's the interest rate. So it's usually higher than the amount that they tell you to repay monthly. So over that 6 years, that's how you accumulate. So the interest rate that they give you, if it's 70,000, you don't automatically have that interest rate already in the amount. Let's talk about something that most people don't know about settling a car price. Let's say you bought a car today by 110,000. You don't have 110,000, but in 2 years time you have 110,000. Even though you were paying installment, that interest rate, it hasn't been fully accumulated into the amount. You can go whether on the app or whatever and click settle the amount. They'll send you a settle letter. The amount will still be 110 that the bank gave you, so you can pay that amount before the 6-year period. Basically you won't have to pay the interest rate. That's something that the bank won't tell you and most people don't know. Yeah, that's a secret that I'm sharing with you in terms of settling a car price before you finish the loan period. So I'm realizing that this video is becoming very long, so let me try to break it down very fast so that I can cut it. So okay, this is what you must do in terms of money. Yeah, let's say you earn a salary of 25,000 rands. You need to multiply your salary by 20%. That 20% is the installment that you're gonna need to pay on the car. You shouldn't pay more than that. If you are choosing a car that takes more than 20% of your salary, you are in trouble. Let me break it down and show you why. Okay, your installment, it's 5,000. That's 20% of 25,000. Insurance, 1.5. Petrol, 3,000, because no one puts one full tank. For food, you're paying 3,000. Food is very expensive right now. Rent, you're paying 4,000. Okay, electricity and data, 1,000. Entertainment, let's say it's 2.5. Now you need to calculate how much do you have left in terms of your savings. You're gonna need to have a bit of savings. So yeah, I tried to complete this video as far as possible and to give you as much information as possible so that I can equip you, so that if there's anything that you didn't know already from this video, now you know. Now you can walk into the dealership with confidence. And if you enjoyed this video and you want more information like this, just click the subscribe button, subscribe and like and share the video. That's all I'm asking for. It doesn't hurt you to do that. Like, do that. And thank you very much for staying this long while watching this video, and I'll definitely see you on the next one, and thank you for watching.